Hello, welcome back to Home with the Garage. My name is Dylan. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix your sagging doors and replace the pins and bushings on Chevy door hinges. Stay tuned to see how it's done. So, what we are working on today is the door hinges. As you can see, there's a lot of play in the top one. Not as much in the bottom, and then if I take you over to the, what is it, the driver's door, it's the same thing. A lot of play, and even more play than I was expecting there. Now, another telltale sign that my door pins are shot and my bushings, if I take you to the doors. You see right here, this is not from me sanding it. This is actually from opening and closing the door, and because up here we're at the hinge, it's the bushings are worn out and it's sagging. It's causing excess rub on the fiberglass here. If I bring it around to the other side, it's the exact same story. See, the exact same story with the rubbing. So to fix this, this door pins, the sagging, and we're gonna repaint this car. It's gonna have beautiful paint on it. The last thing we want is to be scuffing up all of the paint and the fiberglass and causing damage due to sagging doors. As you can tell, I have the doors off of the Corvette. I believe the best way to do it is to do this. Now, a lot of y'all are probably really not wanting to remove the doors because of the alignment. There are 4 bolts there are 4 bolts on each hinge, so 8 bolts aside that hold it to the door, to the body, and you can either remove them from the body or from the door. I'm doing both, just easier for me. But let me show you a few little tips if you're going to take your doors off of the body. This applies to almost any classic car. I would assume newer vehicles, however, I don't really mess with anything newer than 1980, 81, so I don't know for sure. But let me show you on the vehicle what I'm talking about, these little tips. So you might have noticed earlier in the video, these pins right here. So what I do is I have these pins. I have 4 of them. I can make more, but these are just specifically for the doors. We do this with every vehicle. While the door is still attached to the body, you want to come in from the back side. I'll get you in here so you can see it right here. You want to come in from the back side and drill all the way through the body. This has shims, so through the shims, and then as you can see right there through the hinge. What all of this is going to do is that when you go to put the door back on, you will go ahead and set the door back on there, get your 4 bolts on everything started, and then you will put the pin through the body, through the shims, and through the hinge top and bottom. This is not going to get you absolutely perfect. There's a lot of slop here. You have to adjust for that. But it's gonna get you extremely close. That way you're not sitting there for hours and hours, and you're not completely off the mark. The rough getting it close is done. All you have to worry about is the fine adjustment. Now, I'm also going to be taking these hinges off of the door. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to show you what I do to make sure that I get these back where they go. Because obviously you don't want to drill through the hinge portion on this, because there's a good chance, especially the way these are done, that if you go too far, you're going to go through your door. And then you're just opening another can of worms that you don't want to deal with. So let me get this done, and then I'll show you how I how I get myself in the ballpark, if not perfect. All right, I'll be back to show you how to do it. Alrighty, so the little tip I have for you on these doors is get some type of bright paint. and you want to paint the bolts as well as do your best to paint the edge surrounding, so I can get a bearing here, yeah, surrounding the hinge. What that's going to allow you to do is once you take it off, you do the replacement of the bushing and the pin. When you go to reinstall the hinge, you want to line the hinge up with the perimeter of the non-painted area, as well as put the bolts back in the area where they were. And this bright colored paint is going to make it easy to see, and it's going to get you either dead nuts perfect or very close where you get to do minor adjustments once you finally install the door. So let me go ahead and get these hinges off, get set up in the vise, and I'll show you how to knock these pins out, knock the bushings out, and install. All right, let's get started. All right, so the easiest way I found to do this is to set it up in the vise. To start out, I like to use a very big style punch. Ball peen hammer is a good weight to it. The reason I like to use this is I'm not reusing this, but if you mar this up too bad with smaller punches and stuff, then it's not going to fit through it. So I have to take this, get it started like that, and then I have a few different sizes of smaller punches that I use. If I can't get the one I want, yep. So this one, special tool number 8422. It's just this punch used to be a really thick one, and we just grind it down to the size we needed, and it's been great for this. And you just tap her out. Ow. Wiggle her out. She's coming. Come on, bitch. There we go. All right. So that's the pin. Now, this pin itself is not in bad shape. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could reuse this pin. However, when you buy the kits, they're less than 20 bucks usually, and they come with pins and new bushings. So you might as well just go ahead and replace everything. You can keep these and put them in a baggie and then put them in your spare parts in case for some reason the new pin is just crap and you need to go back to the original pin. I'm not saying that all the new stuff is crap, but sometimes the aftermarket support isn't always the best. So now we can wiggle this out, and then, let me see, okay, this one's broken. So now we gotta replace these bushings. Key, remember how this came on and off, so I know that this this S springs is actually what locks your door when you open it. So I know this goes up, so now I can work on getting these bushings out and then put it back on. So let's do that. Let me just set this in here. Let me see. Yeah, these brasses just coming right on out. Now, these are worn out, so I'm really not worried about busting them up too much like that. And then just tapping them right on out. This one's already been busted. Tap it right out. All right, now what you want to do, and it's not, you don't have to do this. If you don't do this, it's not like you did the job wrong or anything. But I've got these off right now. When's the next time I'm going to have these off? Hopefully never. But since they're off, I'm going to take them over to the wire wheel. I'm going to get everything cleaned up. I'm going to clean with probably 220 sand grit paper so I don't, oblong this. And I'm just going to clean all this out, make sure it's all nice and smooth, so when everything goes back together, we have no issues. I'm going to get all that knocked out. I'll bring y'all back. I'll come back to here and show y'all how to put this together. All right, so everything's cleaned and done. So the kit I've got comes with 8 new bushings. There's only 6 there, as I did put these in, and it was very simple. You just want to get it square. I took a tennis hammer and you just lightly tap those in. If it feels like it's really tight, or if it feels like it's binding, something is going wrong, stop, look at it, see why it's binding. You may have a burr or something. They should not be that difficult to get in. And then it comes with 4 new pins, 1 per hinge. So you want to make sure you get this on right. As you can tell, this is wrong. This right here, again, is what catches on these and locks it. So we know that this goes in just like that. Take our pin. It shouldn't be that tight. All right. Now, this pin's just about to go in, and I'm going to show you now how these lock. So if you look right here, you can see all these little teeth is what I call them. And they're actually, the OD of these is actually a little bit bigger than this, than the rod. So when I go right now and I hammer this in, it's going to actually dig and bite into this bracket, and that is what secures it. So once you have it straight, it starts at the bottom. You just want to make sure that's fully seated, and there is your hinge. You're done. All you have to do now is go and line up the hinge and the door with the paint marks, and you're good to go. So I'm going to throw you on a time lapse, and I'm going to knock out the remaining 4 of these. And so, as you can see, I've got the nuts started. So, looking in here, you can see how where the nuts were, there is no paint. So you know exactly where the nut's gonna go. Now, why this is important, I'll show you based off of this hinge right here. So, all the adjustment is on the metal of the door. These are fixed positions. Once the bolt tightens down, this can't move. This can only move because the slots in the sheet metal on the door allow you to move. So when you take the bolt and put it back in the exact location it was, so that there's paint all around it, and where there is no paint, aka where this bolt was, it's back in there. You are therefore perfectly aligning these hinges to where they were before. Now, like I said before, we had play where we don't now. So when you put these back on the vehicle, you may have to do a little bit of fine tuning to get it absolutely perfect. But like I said, this will get you in the ballpark. I'm going to go ahead and get all these installed and finished up. But that's going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video and you want more content like this, or you just enjoy restoration videos, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. I really do appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind, also hit the like button, as it really does help me out here. But thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a great day.